Tonight on News 5 Live, Belizeans awake to a floating oil rig offshore. The Ministry of Blue Economy allays concerns regarding the structure out at sea. The destruction of illegal airfields in the south. Village dealers say they're unaware of illegal activities involving airplane landings. And a brawl at Ladyville Tech. Is it the case of students bullying an outsider? These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Whether you're in a bustling urban area or a tranquil rural community, connectivity matters. Internet access is key to continued socioeconomic development. That is why Digi, our national telecom, has and will continue to invest millions of dollars to expand its mobile and fiber networks throughout Belize. Thousands of mobile users and households, especially along the highways and in rural communities, are now enjoying the benefits of Digi's resilient infrastructure. Our national telecom will continue to lead the charge towards digital transformation by utilizing cutting-edge technology and maintaining an unwavering dedication to excellence. With our DigiWallet solution, Belizeans in urban and rural areas now have easy and safe access to a wide array of financial services via their mobile devices. And with the recent launch of DigiTV, Digi has made history, becoming the only quad play service provider in Belize. Now, customers can save with our DigiOne bundles that offer home internet, mobile, home phone, and DigiTV services all in one place. Digi is committed to providing all communities with access to high-quality, reliable, and affordable services while unlocking untapped potential and opening the doors to a brighter future for all. Be a part of the transformation and experience connectivity like never before. Because with Digi, connectivity matters.
Ignite the innovator in you with Dell. Cellular World is an authorized partner for Dell Technologies. Whether you're looking for equipment for personal use or to transform your business, Dell Technologies can provide you with the right equipment to suit your needs. Dell is more than just desktop computers and laptops. The full line also includes monitors, data storage solutions, keyboards, docking stations, and other accessories. This is technology that makes it possible and provides solutions for every situation. Shop for your Dell products at Cellular World, your #1 Dell authorized partner in Belize, and get all the technology you want for less. Bring your brightest ideas to life with intelligent technology. Cellular World, authorized Dell partner.
Here's your chance. The stage is waiting. We're looking for talented Belizean singers for another season of KTV The Remix. KTV auditions will take place on Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 11th, starting at 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive in Belize City. We're also now accepting online submissions. 2-minute videos can be emailed to producer at channel5belize.com or DM KTV Remix on Facebook. Deadline Sunday, June 11th at 5 p.m. Come be a part of the biggest singing competition of the year. KTV The Remix, only on Channel 5.
It's good to keep the environment clean. BSWAMA, step up the pace. They're going places to manage your waste. So make we stand and make well sure. No garbage left on the seashore. The whole of Belize we stay clean, cause we know say worth much more. We have pretty environment. So when you see the garbage on the ground, go after me and just bag it on.
Cleanliness has always been second nature to us. So let's work together to keep our surroundings beautiful and healthy.
No garbage in it.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, June 1st. I am Sabrina Daly. It is not every day that you wake up to the sight of a floating oil rig in Belizean waters, especially since there is an indefinite moratorium on offshore drilling enshrined in Belize's constitution. But this morning, residents in San Pedro town woke up to the shocking discovery of a 321-foot semi-submersible oil rig named Frida 1 off the coast of the Ambergris Caye. Alarms were instantly raised and people took to social media asking questions and hoping to get answers, since there was no information out on its presence. Soon enough, authorities responded and many of those concerns were allayed. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Residents in San Pedro woke up to the sight of this monstrosity just off Ambergris Caye this morning.
This morning, very early, from about 7 in the morning, I began getting information from tour guides, fellow tour guides and tour operators, sending me this picture of this oil rig or the ship that is an oil rig in front of Ambergris Key. So as it came closer to Ambergris Key and into the populated area, we became concerned.
Soon after, Jorge Aldana and others took to social media with images and videos questioning why a floating oil rig would be in Belizean waters. The government of Belize placed a moratorium on offshore drilling back in 2017.
We see cruise ships all the time in front of Ambergris Key, and so we know the difference between a cruise ship and this monstrosity. And so we began organizing ourselves. We began asking what it is. Some of our colleagues went out there. They verified that it was indeed an oil rig in front of Ambergris Key.
Janelle Chanona, the vice president at Oceana Belize, also began inquiring about the oil rig's presence in Belizean waters. Oceana Belize was the principal advocate for the passage of the moratorium into law.
I knew it wasn't going to be good when about 9:30 this morning, my phone started making all sorts of noises, and I picked it up and I have 45 messages from my contacts in San Pedro. Several of them are sharing photos. They're asking me to find out what this is and why is an oil rig here. And they already had the MV Tracker app going, and they could tell me the name of the boat, and so they knew what it was. And I was grateful I was sitting down. I was as shocked as they were, and just really concerned of, what is happening. So I reached out to the Minister of Blue Economy about 9:30. I reached out to everybody that I could think about that could let us know quickly what was happening.
It wasn't long after that the Belize Port Authority issued a statement advising Belizeans of the presence of a semi-submersible drilling unit called Frida 1. The Belize Port Authority noted that the vessel is calling on the Belize City Harbor today for the purpose of replenishing stores. The release went on to say that due to draft restrictions, the ship will not enter the Belize City Harbor and will be conducting clearance formalities while at anchor outside of English Key. BPA stated that the ship will be in port for approximately 6 hours before it returns to Mexico.
Finally, we got through to the port authorities, and so we reached out back to Ambergris Today, who had initially posted the first set of photos, and we said, okay, here's, you asked us to help with information, and here's what we found out, that it was a rig, it is in Belizean waters, and then we were able to subsequently update that the port was saying that it was, transiting, and it was going to head back out because of a legal issue on the Mexican side. But I think what this whole incident does, if anybody was uncertain of just how this industry and how offshore oil on a whole plays into our local dynamic, I think this incident really shows that, some thought should have been given into the fact that this isn't just a vessel, this is an oil rig, and that it would have caused concern for people seeing it.
The Ministry of Blue Economy also issued a press release stating that it acknowledges the concerns that were raised regarding the sighting of the oil rig off Belize's coast. The release confirmed that the vessel is present in Belizean waters as part of its relicensing exercise with Mexican authorities. The Ministry of Blue Economy reaffirmed its unwavering commitment to the protection of Belize's marine reserves and the maritime space.
We live out here, we live off the reef. The reef is the primary source of livelihood for most of us on the shores of Belize and on the island. Over 1/3 of the population depends on marine ecosystem for a form of livelihood, whether it is tourism or whether it is fishing product. So anything that will affect the livelihood of Belizean, of course, will become concerned.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Coming up, a school fight between machete-wielding man and students under investigation. Find out the details of these stories when we come back.
Well, Michael, this is your new home and your new family. I am sure you will like it here.
Welcome, Michael.
Welcome, Michael. We're good to have you. We've been waiting.
And this will be your room.
Thank you, God, for my new family and my new home. This is all I ever wanted.
All children, even teenagers, deserve and desire a loving family and a safe home. Contact the Department of Human Services to find out how you can become a foster or adoptive parent and be that heart of gold.
Like the Prime Minister has said, it will be no better or no less than any previous document or agreement that have been signed.
And just 6 months into office, the current government approved an environmental compliance plan.
The Prime Minister of this country, who I have long said that Portico was the favored port project.
Dredging of 8.5 million cubic meters, more than the 7.5 million cubic meters that was rejected for Waterloo.
The actual prejudices suffered by other port projects.
The concessions, the issue of exclusivity in a specific area. If we would raise tax or taxes that we would have to reimburse the developers, I don't agree with any of those things.
His government has cancelled every contract that the UDP has done. How is it now that we have the Prime Minister saying this is a binding contract, then presenting that same definitive agreement?
What I saw there was scandalous.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
After 4 months of grueling BEBL basketball, all of the cream of the crop, the final 4 teams are left standing. Betis, Belize Hurricanes, Orange Walk Running Rebels, Danguga Dream Ballers, and San Pedro Tiger Sharks. And now comes the playoffs.
Y'all ready for this?
Let's go. The playoffs are here! The playoffs are finally here! The Belize Civic Center will be the rendezvous for you this Friday, June 2, as your favorite city team and 2-time BEBL champion, Betis Belize Hurricanes. The only city team left to defend the commercial capital will start their championship journey against their arch rivals, the Danguga Dream Ballers, in a battle dubbed as Dreaming Nightmares for Griga. Dream, dream, dream. Belize District, it gets no bigger than this, where your Hurricane boys, led by the energetic Chris Fraser, Yancy Cooper Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Jamel Harris, and Kirk Shabba-Smith Jr. face off against the Danguga Dream Ballers, led by their giant center, Dominic Woodson, Devon Campbell, and Edgar Boogie Mitchell. We all know Dream Ballers no like Canes, and Canes definitely no like Dream Ballers.
Them no like me, I mean I like them.
Who will draw first blood? Who will take game 1 of this best-of-3 series? Bring out the entire family this Friday night of June 2. The halftime show will feature the Betis $4,000 half-court shot, cell phones and tablet giveaways from Smart and Cellular World.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family. Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big family.
Enjoy endless entertainment with NextGen TV. Now available for everyone.
NextGen TV is your all-in-one streaming app with over 200 channels of live content, all your live sports, news, and the shows you love. Replay and pause live TV. Enjoy premium Belizean entertainment. Keep up to the latest releases and stream high-quality movies and series on any device. NextGen TV is compatible with Android devices, Amazon Fire devices, iOS, Apple TV, Roku, and Tizen devices, so you can enjoy your favorite content whenever and wherever you want. Contact us for your subscription through our dedicated WhatsApp number, 660-7873. NextGen TV, the ultimate way to watch TV.
Well, I can't believe the grill pan is full, the grill. Well, don't worry about nothing. We got a new one at the Benny's Father's Day Fest.
Oh, that they happen again?
Yes, and this year,
Benny's is giving 19% off store-wide. Yes, 19% off everything.
Boy, we have for them, bro.
But wait, don't forget, the race is still on.
The Benny's 100 car race, the racers will once again compete to claim the top prize and become the champion.
Anyways, look on the time. If you have a great line, if you go.
Alright, yeah, bro. New whip?
Push the start.
Alright, big time.
Boy, Kagali push the start, man.
The Benny's Father's Day Fest, Saturday, June 17th, Benny's Superstore. This one you don't want to miss.
Here's your chance. The stage is waiting. We're looking for talented Belizean singers for another season of KTV The Remix. KTV auditions will take place on Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 11th, starting at 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive in Belize City. We're also now accepting online submissions. 2-minute videos can be emailed to producer at channel5belize.com or DM KTV Remix on Facebook. Deadline, Sunday, June 11th at 5 p.m. Come be a part of the biggest singing competition of the year. KTV The Remix, only on Channel 5.
The principals of Portico Enterprises Limited have been rather tight-lipped on criticisms regarding the definitive agreement signed with the government of Belize in October of 2020. Since the issue resurfaced last week, the parent company for Port of Magical Belize has not responded to comments made by the United Democratic Party, including Chairman Michael Parafit. Tonight, Portico has issued a statement strongly denying allegations of corruption put forward by opposition leader Sean Barrow during an interview with the media on Tuesday. The release goes on to say, quote, Portico has acquired in excess of 1,000 acres of land for the development of Port of Magical Belize. None of these lands belong to Ambassador Haisiam Diab or any person related to him. Portico has no intention to purchase any other property in that vicinity, and it is not aware that Ambassador Diab owns any property in that area. Secondly, Morales Parafit LLP, of which Senator Michael Parafit was a partner along with Minister David Morales, was the only firm of attorneys initially retained by Portico after its incorporation. Upon the dissolution of that, Morales Parafit LLP Portico retained the law firm of Morales and Company, which was founded by Mr. Morales. However, let this release set on record that it was the firm of Morales Parafit LLP which drafted the definitive agreement with the government. Morales Parafit LLP not only assisted Portico with its applications for the various permits and licenses that were required for the project, but also ensured that Portico satisfied all legal requirements upon making such applications. Even after Minister Parafit was no longer in government, but still a partner with the firm, Morales Parafit LLP assisted in securing the environmental compliance plan, which was a condition precedent to the definitive agreement. Morales Perfit LLP was also instrumental in advising the Department of Environment that State Bank had multiple infractions to the ECP, including the non-payment of its monitoring fee, which was in excess of $800,000 at that time. We have been advised that, to date, the monitoring fee remains outstanding. Based on the foregoing, it is mischievous of the Leader of the Opposition to pose a whimsical question when asked whether Courtney Koyi LLP was the longtime firm of Portico. For the sake of clarity, the answer is no, end quote. On his end, Opposition Leader Shine Barra has also written to the Ombudsman requesting an investigation of Prime Minister John Bersenio for presenting the definitive agreement to Cabinet on May 23rd. It's not the kind of news any parent expects to hear, that their child was involved in a brawl at school that ended up with them being sent home. It's worse when the fight involved a sharp-edged tool, such as a machete. This was the case at Ladyville Technical High School on Wednesday, when a fight erupted between a machete-wielding man and a few of the students who used metal chairs to ward him off. News 5's Marian Ali went in search of answers and discovered that the scuffle was allegedly the result of continued harassment by the students. The laborer, reportedly of Frank's Eddy Village, was hired as part of a crew to work on a compound adjacent to the school. Here's that report.
This video shows a man wearing a hat and armed with a machete approaching a group of students on the school grounds. He advances towards the students wielding the machete, walks up to an individual and points the machete at another who held a folded metal chair. This video shows a different angle of the confrontation. The man raises the machete and approaches the student and his colleague, whom he had initially approached. The man with the machete once again focuses his attention on the student, who is armed with a folded chair. The laborer reaches for the student's throat and a scuffle begins. He then raises the machete, but the other student hits him with a folded chair. A third student joins the brawl and hits the man. More students join in to try to defend their fellow schoolmates. The man appears to try to swing the machete, now held high above his head, but one of the students wrestles him to the ground and gets the upper hand. This other video shows the man, who had by this time lost his hat, scuffling with one of the students before he is struck with a folded metal chair, which he took possession of and chases off the students. The man, we understand, was part of a crew hired to demolish an old fence and to build a new one on a compound occupied by the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing. That compound sits adjacent to the Ladyville Technical High School. So is this a case of the students bullying an outsider working nearby?
What they reported to me is that this worker was verbally abused by the students for days, and it seems he had gotten enough, and then that's why he went over to the other side of the fence. From there, I just saw that he was in custody of police when I arrived. What they told me is that he was being verbally abused by the students.
How though? If you're separated by a distance from the school itself.
Well, our compound, there's a fence that's literally between the school and the compound. And that fence is a part of the fence that we're rebuilding. Okay. So this worker, from what I have understood, it was cleaning the vegetation along the fence so that they can remove the old fence and rebuild a new fence.
Okay, when the students...
yes, and well, this is what they told me, that he was there next to that fence, and that's where he was verbally abused by students.
We reached out to the Minister of Education, Francis Fonseca, who said that they are aware of the incident and that the Belize District Education Center is carrying out an investigation into the matter. The minister informed that based on their recommendations, school authorities will take appropriate action. He reiterated the ministry's zero-tolerance policy for violence on school campuses. Meanwhile, News 5 understands that the man has been taken into police custody and the students who were involved in a brawl were not at school today. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
After the break, the illegal drug trade, interventions to curb this transnational crime. We'll tell you more on that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Like the Prime Minister has said, it will be no better or no less than any previous document or agreement that have been signed.
And just 6 months into office, the current government approved an environmental compliance plan.
The Prime Minister of this country, who I have long said that Portico was the favored port project.
Dredging of 8.5 million cubic meters, more than the 7.5 million cubic meters that was rejected for Waterloo.
The actual prejudices suffered by other port projects.
The concessions, the issue of exclusivity in a specific area. If we would raise taxes that we would have to reimburse the developers, I don't agree with any of those things.
His government has cancelled every contract that the UDP has done. How is it now that we have the Prime Minister saying this is a binding contract, then presenting that same definitive agreement?
What I saw there was scandalous.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
I think that 27 drop tonight now. But you think so? Tonight I think that 24.
Now Belize, you have rice and beans, chips and dip, bolido, and son de la tray. Bolido, that is part of our national identity. And as much as most of we may enjoy it here and there, the bottom line is, one company had 100% ownership of it. And nothing wrong with owning a business, you know. But when it comes to we Bolido, you can't own that and be transparent. You can't report on winnings and sales when you feel like. You can't audit the machine when you feel like. And you definitely can't hide the records under your mattress. But no, that Bolido and Sunday Latch will be for we again. We will be able to enjoy the excitement and profits of it. And that's a double win for us.
Why did PM Brisenia present a clearly unlawful contract to Cabinet?
That is an illegal document.
The definitive agreement is corrupt.
A $335 million project by two men, David Gig and Gulab Sharma, both without any serious achievement in tourism.
What I saw there was scandalous.
They're not even building on their own land. Was the environmental clearance, hurriedly signed by the PUP after only 6 months in office, even lawful?
Portico was the favored port project, wholesaling everything to a foreign entity.
If they want to be a true partner for Belize, then it has to be in the best interest of the Belizean people.
Narco-traffickers continue to use Central America, including Belize, as a drug transshipment point. It's a $32 billion industry that is affecting communities globally. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, the global drug trafficking market is constantly evolving, undermining economic and social development and contributing to crime, instability, and insecurity. In this region, transnational crime begins in South America, and the final destination for the illicit drugs is North America. Belize has been a part of a concerted regional approach to tackling this crime and the destruction of clandestine airstrips used for narco-trafficking. In tonight's episode of Belize on Real, a News 5 team goes deep into the jungles of southern Belize, where these high-risk activities are taking place. Here's that report.
Central America is the transit point of choice for the illegal drug trade, as it is smacked in the middle of South and North America. Billions of dollars in cocaine, as well as money, guns, and ammunition, are trafficked across both continents, and Belize is a way station for these illicit cargoes. A joint intelligence operations center established back in April of 2014 and manned by our security forces has the task of tracking these aircrafts.
We did have a aircraft in our airspace last night. For a matter of fact, we hardly got any sleep because we were monitoring that aircraft from it left South America, and it vanishes in our airspace in the Toledo district.
That airplane was discovered days later by law enforcement agencies in a remote area of Toledo district. I'm standing in the center of a clandestine airstrip located deep in the jungle of southern Belize, within the Mayan Mountains. It was recently used by narco-traffickers to successfully carry out a drug plane landing in Belize. The charred vestiges of that aircraft is still located in the area.
We are in the Toledo district, specifically right behind Corazon Village. This is approximately an hour and a half, 2 hours from Punta Gorda town. If you look at the map, it is due northwest of Punta Gorda. If you look at the distance, it's just over 2 kilometers. It is usable. I can see, probably judging at this, caravan, twin engine, can easily land here and dump its cargo and take off with no problems.
This illegal airstrip is similar in length to the runway at the Philip Golson International Airport. A BDF chopper approximately 1,000 meters above provides a bird's eye view of the situation below. Thick foliage is ideal for illicit activities. The area is remote, and illicit cargo can easily be ferried through interconnected waterways.
These are people who have been in this particular type of trade long enough to know the ins and outs. They are very keen on the use of terrain, the maximum use of camouflage, concealment, and of course a bit of use of local help. If you notice, there is nowhere here that shows indication of heavy machinery coming in here. So this is all done manually by hand, using hand tools. It's not an easily accessible route for security forces either coming in. And these guys who plan these airstrips, they are well aware of this, and they use this to the best of their, to their ability in maximizing their success. And it's clear to be seen that, unfortunately, I don't think they are working in isolation. There's no way, no how that they would be able to pull off these stunts without the local knowledge of the villagers surrounding.
In the past, charges have been brought against law enforcement officers, but there are also allegations of civilians being involved in these activities. Village leaders in Corazon Creek, however, claim to have no knowledge of these activities happening in their backyard.
Well, apparently we are not aware of it. As I know, I cannot speak about it because I am not aware of anything that is happening around.
But are you concerned that it's so close to your village?
Well, we are concerned, yes, because it is something that is damaging the reputation of my village, and it is not a good practice for us.
Who could have come into the village and clear out this piece of land for make one plane could land?
We could not say because we are not aware of it.
The first time it happened on the 5th of May. And by the time the BDF reached, the boss come inform me that they went to have an explosion that 2.8 kilometers outside of the village. And I want to make you inform the village and know what happened.
Villagers say that they have never heard aircrafts hovering in the area, but drug planes often crash land, cargo is offloaded and subsequently removed from the area. In this particular case, the damaged aircraft was torched. Other times, it would be refueled and then flown out of Belize's airspace.
This has been known to be used in the past, so we don't know the frequency, but the idea behind it is to deter narco-trafficking, which we view as basically a threat to the surrounding communities. And our job as security forces is to ensure we maintain the security of our people, of our country.
This is the only one that has been found in this area?
No, unfortunately it is not.
A BDF-led operation sees troops make their way to the area by land and air to destroy this makeshift runway.
Our expert came in here along with his materials. He placed them in strategic locations along the entire length of the airstrips. And given safety procedures, our guys were briefed off and moved off to a certain safe location. And then after that, detonation took place. After a couple moments has elapsed, our guys went back out to ensure that all clear. We had a previous destruction in the general area as well. So again, this is not restricted to only Toledo district. We've had issues in the north, a few drops in the west.
Arresting transnational crime requires an interagency approach as the network established by narco-traffickers continues to expand. So the government of Belize, with support from its international partners, has made investments in its security forces by providing equipment to tackle drug plane landings.
The collaboration between the police, the BDF and the Coast Guard, as well as the U.S. Embassy through the DEA attaché, has been extremely strong, and we're trying to see what can be done to enhance our efforts more and to prevent these planes from coming, or when they do come, that we'll be able to intercept them.
Currently the Coast Guard is the director of the JIOC, and they've been doing an exceptional job in terms of reducing air traffic. So you'd notice the last aircraft that landed in Belize would have been sometime around July. So that's exceptional work from the Coast Guard, not only in its traditional role as a maritime force, but as a broader national security organization.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
When we return, Minister of Agriculture explains controversial preconditions in latest sugar legislation.
Why did PM Brisenia present a clearly unlawful contract to Cabinet?
That is an illegal document.
The definitive agreement is corrupt.
A $335 million project by two men, David Gegg and Gulab Sharma, both without any serious achievement in tourism.
What I saw there was scandalous.
They're not even building on their own land. Was the environmental clearance, hurriedly signed by the PUP after only 6 months in office, even lawful?
Portico was the favored port project, wholesaling everything to a foreign entity.
If they want to be a true partner for Belize, then it has to be in the best interest of the Belizean people.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Tour guides, your renewal season is coming up. Please be advised that all tour guide license expires on July 31st, 2023. BTB will start accepting applications for renewal starting May 1st, 2023. Tour guides, we're asking you to apply early in order to have a new and valid license before the current one expires. To submit via email, you'll need a clear scan of each document in PDF format and properly named and labeled. Send your application with all supporting documents to tourguide@belizetourismboard.org and include your full name and your tour guide license number in the subject line of the email. Remember to fill out your applications correctly, as BTB will no longer be accepting incomplete applications. Contact our licensing officers at 227-2420 and press 1 if you have any questions or concerns.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
The newly implemented Belize Sugar Industry Regulations 2023 are the latest decisions by government causing controversy across the sugar belt. As we have reported, the regulations require that importers and exporters of sugar apply to the Sugar Industry Control Board annually for a license. There are, however, preconditions to acquiring approval for such license. The Belize Sugar Industries Limited, BSI, has said that the preconditions contained within the legislation are an overreach. Tonight, the Corozal Sugar Producers Association and the Progressive Sugarcane Producers Association are saying that the legislation is in favor of one association, the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association. We will tell you more about that virtual press conference those two associations held this afternoon. But first, we sat down with Jose Abelardo May, the Minister of Agriculture, earlier this week to have a conversation on these regulations.
It says the licensee shall collect all proceeds, premiums, like fair trade premiums, or other benefits from the total volume of certified sugar, because it has to be certified sugar, or any derivative or byproduct sold to the buyers and distribute any premiums or other benefits on a quarterly basis to certified producers to which premiums are due based on the respective volume of sugar cane delivered to the licensee by each certified producer. Now, this is a precondition to the license, right? So all this is saying is that you must distribute the premiums. Of course, you have to show us evidence that that has happened, right? And you'll distribute them fairly, because if you ask them if they distributed, they say yes, but not to the BACFA. So this regulation here will now address that matter.
So who collects under this regulation? Who does the premium go to? You speak something about the licensee.
The licensee in this case is ASR, BSI, who exports, the exporter. Not only them, they're Santander, there are three other more exporters, right? So they know if they sell their sugar at premium prices, they have to disclose to us how much is sold, the prices, and we have to show proof to us that they did distribute the premiums as is agreed upon.
And that proof goes to SICB by way of a report?
Second? Yes, definitely, to SICB, who is the implementer of this regulation. And so when they said to us that they were concerned that the minister had much power, then we delegate that responsibility. We thought that would have solved the problem. But clearly, that was not their concern. They had other concerns. And their concerns is disclosure. They don't want to disclose exactly what they're doing. In the past, while the impasse was going on with the commercial agreement, they had agreed with the farmers and to us in cabinet that they were prepared to offer audit rights, because the farmers were saying, oh, the problem is that we don't know what business you're doing. We don't know what the cost of doing business is, the real cost, right? And so there's this sense of doubt, right? And so they said, okay, well, to avoid doubt, right, and to get the ball rolling and sign the agreement, we are going to give you audit rights. Well, this is an audit right.
As we said, the Corozal Sugarcane Producers Association and the Progressive Sugarcane Producers Association held a virtual press conference this afternoon to voice their concerns with the new regulations. Their primary apprehension has to do with Section 16 of the legislations, the very same section that Minister Mai quoted, which speaks to the preconditions that must be met by the licensee. Vladimir Puck, the chairman of Corozal Sugarcane Producers Association, described the new law as political interference that threatens the industry's access to millions of dollars in fair trade premiums annually.
I'm very concerned in regards to Section 15, where in that legislation it speaks about the premiums, right? And we are very concerned because those premiums, fair trade gives us, because of our merits work, hard work with the cane farmers, and they are not very well satisfied whenever there is government interference, right? In many other countries, fair trade has been lost whenever that happens.
Our concern, basically, with the SI is the fair trade premium. I think political interference can really affect us all, whereby at the end of the day, Tita and Lyle can decide, okay, I can source my fair trade sugar from a different country because of too much political interference that's been happening lately.
In May, Cabinet approved $1 million in subsidies to the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association for the purchase of fertilizers. In its announcement, Cabinet noted that BSCFA has not benefited from premiums derived from fair trade for the past 2 years. The release noted that the subsidies were approved to improve crop yields. In our interview with Minister Mai earlier this week, he explained that the industry is faced with the probability that sugarcane production will shrink by 30% this year due to inconsistent weather patterns and the spiraling cost of agro inputs. Both the CSCPA and the PSCPA are now calling on the government to also provide them with $1 million in subsidies for the purchase of fertilizers. We will tell you more about that shortly. But first, here is what Minister Mai had to say on the approved funds.
No decision to assist any organization with $1 million is done in 5 minutes. That decision to give out $1 million, if it's to the cane farmers, if it's to the stevedores, if it's to any other body, if it's to the citrus industry, that decision is not taken easily. It is discussed in cabinet for very long periods of time, and then cabinet makes a decision. The rationale for BSCFA is because they produce 60% of sugarcane, and they have been completely deprived of almost $5 million worth of fair trade funds, which should have gone a great percentage to fertilizers. So, like I said, we have to, at this time, stop the downward spiraling of productivity, halt it, and then next year try to bring up that production. The easiest thing to lose is your productivity. The most difficult thing to do is to bring it back to where it was before. And so we are concerned about the farmers and the families. We are concerned about the foreign exchange earnings. We are concerned about the mill.
The Corozal Sugarcane Producers Association and the Progressive Sugarcane Producers Association are now requesting an interview with the Prime Minister. They say that their farmers are also facing similar plights as their fellow farmers in the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association. The two associations are now demanding that the government of Belize also provide $1 million in fertilizers to their farmers.
Very happy for them, because at the end of the day, we are all in farmers, one industry, that they have received from the government. And we will also like to take this opportunity to voice out to the government that we are also farmers that are being affected by various other reasons, no? Pests and the weather, climate change. And we would like to enjoy also those money, since it's money from our country, from our tax. So it is something that we also need to enjoy, right? We are also the other half of the industry. I heard someone mention that the 3,000 plus in farmers. So what happened about the other half?
I think really that the government is being biased, because the other association is not getting premium because of their doing. We have no fault. We have no fault to that, and assisting only one association is not fair. I don't see it fair for us. Here at Progressive, we do not involve politics nor religion. We are here for the small producers, the medium producers, and the bigger producers. What transpired last week when we found out that one association is getting $1 million just because they are not getting fair trade premium really shows that the present government, I shall say, is favoring one association only.
Up next, government to establish office to deal with cost of living issues.
Like the Prime Minister has said, it will be no better or no less than any previous document or agreement that have been signed.
And just 6 months into office, the current government approved an environmental compliance plan.
The Prime Minister of this country, who I have long said that Portico was the favored port project.
Dredging of 8.5 million cubic meters, more than the 7.5 million cubic meters that was rejected for Waterloo.
The actual prejudices suffered by other port projects.
The concessions, the issue of exclusivity in a specific area. If we would raise taxes that we would have to reimburse the developers. I don't agree with any of those things.
His government has cancelled every contract that the UDP has done. How is it now that we have the Prime Minister saying this is a binding contract, then presenting that same definitive agreement?
What I saw there was scandalous.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
Here's your chance. The stage is waiting. We're looking for talented Belizean singers for another season of KTV The Remix. KTV auditions will take place on Saturday, June 3rd and Sunday, June 11th, starting at 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive in Belize City. We're also now accepting online submissions. 2-minute videos can be emailed to producer@channel5belize.com or DM KTV Remix on Facebook. Deadline, Sunday, June 11th at 5 p.m. Come be a part of the biggest singing competition of the year. KTV The Remix, only on Channel 5.
To pinch on the pocket due to inflated prices on goods over the past year has drawn sharp criticisms from the public against the government. It is a criticism that the government has not taken lightly. It has arranged meetings with wholesalers and retailers to discuss price control of goods and services, as well to conduct store inspection and monitoring in agreement with the different unions. There was also a need to revisit the list of basic commodities in order to expand the number of goods that are price controlled. On Wednesday, Minister of Tourism Anthony Moller told News 5 that the government is working with the unions to deal with the problem.
We've been having a discussion in Cabinet and we'll have, I guess they're going to have more this morning, but we are looking to establish an office to deal with the cost of living.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is premature and I don't want to say anything else about it because the PM will be talking about it in Cabinet.
In the tourism sector, the question of preferred treatment for passengers disembarking from cruise ships calling to port in Belize City was put to Tourism Minister Anthony Moller on Wednesday. This was an allegation brought up by tour operator Yoni Rosado recently during a press conference with the media. While Moller told reporters that he had no knowledge of any preferential treatment, he did explain the sale of inland tours.
If you're a cruise ship coming to Belize, the way you make money is, well, selling the cabins to people, and then what Belize is considered, Belize district is considered a tour destination. And so the cruise lines collect from the tours and they work with the local operators here in Belize. So if they sell it, for example, just a good example, if a tour is sold for
$200 Belize. Maybe the cruise line gets 100 and the tour operator gets 100. That's how it works. So if you are disembarking and you're in a tendering port, what will you do? You will send off the people who go on your official tours rather than the people who are independent, right?
So we can't do anything about that?
We
the
could,
whole thing said?
No, I have had honest discussions with the cruise lines. I don't play around. And when I see something is off, like I explained to them the last time I spoke to them, I want to see an improved partnership. When Bahamas and other countries were rejecting your ships during COVID, I took the heat. I opened up Belize based on the information that we had, the policies that we had, and the programs that we had. And those were beneficial. Those decisions were beneficial to the Belizean people at the time when there was nothing happening, and so it created some commotion. And then we were hit by the hurricane last year, and we reached out to them, and no support other than maybe Norwegian. So I tell them, if it's a true partnership, then it can't be like that. When you were in time of need, we helped, and now we're in time of need. You know, I didn't go hat in hand. But that's what true partnership is, right?
Ministry of Tourism and BTB continue to aggressively promote Belize as a premier tour destination in the region. According to Minister Mahler, a new marketing agency has been brought on board to attract visitors from neighboring Mexico.
My focus is to create Belize as a hub, and so the partnership with Tropic is important as well. And we have flights into some of the Central American cities, and we're working on Mexico. You have almost 120 million Mexicans next door. A lot of them dive. 40 million Mexicans travel each year internationally. That is just as much as Americans travel. And so it's a key market. We have hired a new marketing agency for the region and for Mexico. And so that is a focus that we're putting in right now. Also, we have just introduced the Mexican card, whereby Mexicans can get a card and travel around the country for 7 days at least.
You mentioned Tropic. Tropic had recently, in the past, they flew to Chatham and also to Merida, but they had complained about the taxes. I know that at the conference for Airlift, you had joked about the fact that the people who can make that decision were there. Is there any updates on those taxes?
That's a discussion that we're having right now. I'm supposed to meet with the people from the airport and the private sector soon to discuss the departure fees, and so whenever that discussion or those discussions are completed, then I will advise the media or the public.
The 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, which runs from June 1st to November 30th, is expected to be a near normal year in terms of activity. Forecasters predict that there is a 40% chance of a near normal season, a 30% chance of an above normal season, and a 30% chance of a below normal season. The season, which officially opened today, is predicted to comprise of 12 to 17 named storms. Of these, between 5 and 9 of the storms are expected to become hurricanes, and between 1 and 4 are expected to become hurricanes ranging in strength from categories 1 and 3. An average season comprises 14 named storms, of which 7 become hurricanes and 3 major hurricanes. Forecasting experts predict there's a moderate to high chance an El Niño phenomenon will develop during this year's hurricane season. This is expected to suppress the development of tropical storms. On the contrary, because warmer than average sea surface temperatures are also expected, it could also favor hurricane development that counter the effects of El Niño. The names for this year's hurricane season are Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Dawn, Emily, Franklin, Gert, Harold, Idalia, Jose, Katia, Lee, Margot, Nigel, Ophelia, Felipe, Rena, Sean, Tammy, Vince, and Whitney. Advancing the free movement of skilled nationals in the CARICOM single market and economy, CSME, was the focus of the 30th Special Meeting of Council for Human and Social Development. The event was held in Georgetown, Guyana on May 24th. The CSME economic regime enables citizens from all member states to live and work at their CARICOM country of choice. It intends to expand the pool of skills accessible throughout the region and facilitate economic integration. Minister of Rural Transformation, Community Development, Labor and Local Government, Oscar Requena, chaired the meeting. And Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, led the discussion. Skerrit asked member states to evaluate proposals on the freedom of movement. These involve a number of options that appropriately consider the sensitivities of member states and provide for exceptions and flexibilities and even exclusion when necessary. Corazon Creek Technical High School opened its door in 2009 and caters to just over 300 plus students from remote villages in Toledo District, including Machaquilha, San Benito Poite, and Graham Creek. Most recently, secondary school students from Midway, Barranco, and Santana have been added to the zone. While the institution has been offering quality education to its students, it has all been by paper. During the pandemic, the school was unable to have online classes. It has a computer lab and is in possession of tablets to allow for virtual learning, but there is no internet. It is something that Principal Macario Coy and the staff of the institution have been battling. News 5 spoke to Coy, who he says it is a work in progress.
Internet telephone service is a setback for our school, but I would say it's a work in progress. We know that the Ministry of Education are working to ensure that internet be reaching out to our school very soon, and we want to thank our Minister of Education too in doing as much as he can do. And I'm sure that it's not only Corazon that needs the access to internet. I'm sure that there are other schools that also need it in the area. It wasn't easy for us at Corazon, to be honest. What we did was a paper-based packages to our students. We used to do it every week. We started doing it every week, then we changed it to every 2 weeks. And I'm sure that, like any other schools, they still have issues, even though they were doing it online while we were doing packages. But the objective was to ensure that learning occurs while we were going through the pandemic, and it did occur. Of course.
Do you guys have the equipment though to do online learning?
Oh, well, if you can see right behind me, you'll notice that there's a number of tablets out there, and we have a computer lab that have about 33 plus desktops that can be used. As long as we would have access to the internet, that will be possible. In focus, our main goal right now is to have access to internet. Once we have access to internet, we believe that our school will be just like any other schools, like in the city.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.